Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Katie. I'm a small business owner of a dog grooming salon in regional Victoria, Australia, and apparently I like to do small business finance content now. This is going to be my first monthly business update. It's the 2nd of February, which means that January's finances are all finished and done, so now I can get the numbers up and share them with you. I'm starting this series because first and foremost I wanted to track my finances. Last year was not great profit-wise with the business, so this year I want to make a dedicated market improvement in that. So that's the primary reason I'm doing this, a little bit of like self-accountability, that kind of thing. But I also really want to help other people who are interested in running their own small business or who already are running their own business. I feel like finances are one of those things that sometimes people are really like cagey and weird about it, and I understand, like it can be a little bit awkward to talk about, but I don't feel awkward talking about mine, so if I can help someone by sharing the ins and outs, then I would love to do that. I set some goals for 2025, and they are to get out of debt, to rebuild my BAS accruals, and to finally make a decent profit after years of just getting by. So let me break these down a little bit and then we'll get into the finances. So my first goal, which was to get out of debt to the ATO, I don't know where it happened. It's a long story short, but I missed one of my BAS payments a little while ago, and I had to set up a payment plan to get that one paid off, because by the time I realized, the next BAS quarter had been lodged and I was $6,000 in debt all of a sudden. So I've been working on that payment plan for a little while, and then my cat got sick and it cost me $13,000 to fix. Where are you? So these are my cats. This one's Delvin, this one's Olaf. They're both very friendly, but Olaf is the one that got sick, aren't you? Mwah. He cost $13,000 because he has chronic urinary crystalluria issues. I'd spend anything on him, but I just didn't have $13,000, so that did not help. Mwah. I love you. Love you, fluffy man. So for the last 7-8 months especially, things were bad, but then they just got so much worse. So I spent most of last year playing catch up, and as of 2 days ago, I made my final payment to the ATO, so I am no longer in debt, which is fantastic. It's January. My first goal for the year is already achieved. I'm super proud of that. I have been sending $900 a week for the last amount of time to get that one paid down, but also to start contributing towards quarter 2 and quarter 3 BAS, because they are both due. It just occurred to me really quickly that I should explain what a BAS is, just in case you don't know what it is. It stands for Business Activity Statement. It's basically just you telling the ATO, the Australian Taxation Office, how much you brought in and spent and all of that, so they can figure out how much to tax you. If you are earning less than $75,000 a year, you're probably not GST registered and you only have to lodge this annually. But if you're earning more than $75,000, you have to lodge it quarterly. And I think if you're earning over like an exorbitantly large amount, then you have to lodge it monthly. But I lodge mine quarterly. So because I am finally out of debt, that debt was quarter 1. But quarter 2 was the last 3 months of last year, and now currently in February we're in the middle of quarter 3. So the last 3 months of last year were quarter 2, and then now it's February, so we're in the middle of quarter 3. So even though I've paid off my overdue debt, that was quarter 1. So now I have to catch up on quarter 2, and also I'm currently accruing quarter 3. So that was the second part of my goal. Well, my second goal for the year is to rebuild my BAS accruals. So I'm going to continue sending $900 a week, and I should be caught up by the middle of April, so fingers crossed. And my third goal for the year is just a really basic one, it sounds like, but it's make profit. I just want to make a profit. I've been running on fumes for the last 12, 14 months of just not making any money, because everything got crazy expensive and expenses went up and yada yada yada, and I've been running on this treadmill and getting nowhere. But I'm going to fix that, and I have a plan for how I'm going to fix that. So yeah, thank you for listening to me babble on about my goals for the year. Let's get into the actual numbers now. All right, so here you can see my expenses and my income. The income for January was $15,148, which I think is not too bad for one full-time dog groomer and one trainee part-time dog groomer. The expenses, however, you can see were $14,463, resulting in a total profit of $685. Profit margin of 5% does not sound like much, but to be fair, it's only January. Some expenses are coming in February and March and April and income and all that, so it'll be a better picture as we go throughout the year and we start looking at the annual overview instead of just the monthly overviews. But I do also want to say that this is already better than last year. I spent all of yesterday putting together one of these spreadsheets for 2024, like the whole year of it. And by the end of the year, the profit margin was something like -3%. So last year, it actually cost me over $1,000 to run my business. That's how much money I lost running the business. So a profit margin of 5%, I'll take it. I will take it. So the $685 we can see over here is not actually money that I can just withdraw and it won't affect the business, because there needs to be a buffer in the bank account for future expenses. For example, on the 1st of January, my account keeping fee comes out and it's only like $10. But if I spent every last dollar of that profit on the 31st of January, on the 1st of February, I wouldn't have any money in the account to pay that. So there needs to be a buffer in the account, so I'm just leaving that in there, and hopefully that total profit grows next month. So let's break down these expenses. The biggest chunk you can see here is tax and super at 34.5%. It was nearly $5,000 this month. I have been sending $900 a week, plus a little bit extra to get on top of this, like the debt and the accruals. So that it's a lot, but it's intentional, and it's intentional with a plan. So by the middle April, I believe, I should not have to send that much money anymore, which is still a couple months away, but I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling like I have a plan and the plan's going to work. My owner's draw was 23.5%. As you can see down here, it was $3,470 for owner's draw. There were 4 paydays in January, so about $850 a week I paid myself. Pretty good wage, I'm not going to complain about that, but I am going to complain that I was working like 45, 50 hours some weeks, so it's not as much as I should have paid myself. But again, intentional sacrifices to get on top of things. Sacrifice now for a better future. Caleb Hammer advice. I did my Caleb Hammer financial score, by the way, the other day, and it was a 4 out of 10, and I was very excited about that because everyone on his show is like a 0 or a 1. I'm not in as bad a situation as I thought I was. So the next biggest chunk is rent and rates at 17.3%. I pay, actually I can find out exactly how much I pay. If I scroll down, we've got rent and rates right here. $2,505.12 is how much my rent plus my rates are each month. It's pretty expensive, but you know, it is what it is. I have to have somewhere to run the business out of. I feel like the rest of the expenses are relatively self-explanatory. If you like, you can see all of it right here, how much I spent on like everything. The accountant at $259 is a relatively new thing, or very new thing. Last month, my accountant decided that they're going to do a monthly direct debit instead of paying by invoice, so that's why it's $259. Normally I just pay an invoice when I get it. I don't really have a similar month to compare this to see if there's any like market improvement month to month. Last year, so December we had 2 weeks off because Christmas break. November, one of my full-time employees left, so like halfway through the month things changed. October we had 2 weeks off and another one of my full-timers left, and everything before that we had 4 staff members working. So I can show you this, and I will show 2025's finances in probably a different video just dedicated to that. But yeah, it's a good start. We'll see how it goes from here. That's another thing I don't know. I do also want to share how I budget my owner's draw, so like basically my own wage, because you know, personal finance and business finance are the 2 things that I like. So I want to do both of them, but I don't know if I should do them together or separately. If you could let me know what you think. Like, would you prefer that I do my January overview as well as like business and personal, or should I just keep them separate just in case you only want the business stuff or you only want the personal stuff? If you have any tips, let me know. And I just want to end these videos with talking about a major success, a goal for the next month, and a plan change for the next month. Whether or not I stick to that, we'll see. But my big success for January, obviously, was paying off the ATO debt that I had. I started the year owing $3,916.14, and I paid it off in 1 month. And plus, I put extra towards the accrual for Q2. So I'm very proud of that. That was a major goal. It took a lot of extra days working, a lot of extra hours, a lot of sacrificing how much I paid myself, but it's worth it. And I'm the one who got myself into the situation, so I'm the one who's going to get myself out of it. My goal for February is to get enough money into my ATO account so that it is in credit enough to pay Q2 by the time it comes due. That was a little bit of a hard sentence to say. My Q2 tax is going to be $3,260, and it is due either on the 28th of February, which is what online says, or it's due on the 31st of March, which is what my accountant says. My accountant's probably correct, but just to be safe, I want to make sure that I have enough in there to pay it off. If I keep sending $900 a week, then that is enough to have it in credit enough to pay that by the 28th of February. So as long as I stick to the plan, that goal should be hit. And a planned change for next month, a planned positive change, I guess, for next month, is that we are having a price increase soon. In about 2 weeks, the prices are going up, which is going to help a lot with being able to repay debt and make profit and pay myself appropriately. And something I would really like to do is give myself and my employee a raise, because neither of us have had a raise in a couple of years. So that will be nice, but that'll be a March thing to look at. So that's it for January. It's been a strong start to the year. For me, historically, it's been a strong start to the year, and I'm really excited to see how things go moving forward. If you enjoy these financial updates, let me know. I'd love to hear if other small businesses track their finances like this or in a different way. What's your profit margin? If you have one, if you don't know what it is, maybe now's a good time to figure it out. That spreadsheet's only like $1. It's in the description. It's not an affiliate link. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next month.